welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
And to thank you.
Oh, it's so light there in comparison.
It is. It's very light, despite us being in the same time zone.
Yes.
I'm so baffled by this. It's very weird. Honestly, Tyson, it's almost so perfect in your background. It looks like it's a Zoom background, like we were talking about last week.
It does kind
right?
of. If Super 8, nice Super 8 was an option. Yeah. I do like those curtains. Those curtains are very, very 70s, but also very modern.
I know.
Weirdly enough, those oranges
it's a weird vibe in here. We're in a Super 8 hotel that's been redone, and this kind of like we're in this touristy sort of little town, and I'll just get into it. Right now, I'm in this place called Sturbridge, Massachusetts, and we come up here. But it's like one of those weird little towns where like it's in a crevice, because we're basically in the Adirondacks and up in the Northeast. So
like the chairs.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. So like So
like
how the chairs have a crevice for your ass, and so so we're up here and. It's just nice. It's very picturesque. We probably missed the peak leaf season by about a week, but we drove through northern Ohio up into Pennsylvania a little bit, and then up to Buffalo, New York, and we hit the leaves just perfectly. So we saw
nice. That's pretty.
Plenty of leaves, so we're good. They're leaves. I mean, they'll be back.
Hopefully. Things always come back. Hopefully. Yes, hopefully. We'll see.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll see. Kind of feels like end time, so I don't know.
A little bit, yeah. Well, we'll see. I'm going to start worrying next April. Like, oh, shit. Trees gave up. It's all right. We'll see what happens.
So, Tice, why are you on this epic road trip? What is happening in your world?
Well, so our dog Melly is in season, which means she's ready to get impregnated. Dogs get into season twice a year, so that's and they have PMS just like humans, and so they get grouchy and whine. They don't like it. You get cramps. Like they don't like it, and they don't understand what's going on to their body, so they're just like, why are you punishing me? Can't help
I feel you, Melly. I've been there, girl.
Twice a year is not bad.
No, it's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. I'd rather do that. Holy shit.
So anyway, she my wife she does like that mystery date game, like from the 60s, and she spends like a lot of time looking at boy dogs and videos of them walking, and and she tries to figure out what dog is going to best fit our dog to try to make the super dog, or uber dog as I call it sometimes. When I'm
Uber dog, I like that.
Trying to be Nietzsche, and so Freud, I don't remember. Anyway, so I think it is Nietzsche. Anyway, so she there's all these tests you can do on the dogs when they start to drip blood when they're in season, and then you test their hormone levels and blah blah blah. And so we started on last Monday, and then every other day, and then Friday it looked like she was going to be ovulating at full force on Wednesday, which is today.
Oh wow. Okay.
So we had two options. We had this dog that we wanted to breed to, who's named Wrigley, and he lives in Connecticut, and Wrigley is actually the brother of Hayden. So anyway, so Beth's kind of puzzled it together, and she really wanted to use this dog. Dog's 8, so that's kind of old to breed a dog. So he had a bunch of sperm tests done to check its mobility and numbers and blah blah blah. So it looked good enough, pretty decent enough. Anyway, so it was like, okay, well, what are we going to do? You can freeze it, or not freeze it, but overnight it back to Kansas, and then do a surgical, which is when they go in and they just inject it into the fallopian tubes. Or you can do it the manual way, which is called the UTI, and both are effective, but there's pros and cons. Anyway, so she was like, "Well, we got to go if this is gonna happen." And I said, "Okay." And then we found out Friday afternoon that the sperm looked good, and so we got everything ready. And Saturday we left, and we got to St. Louis, which was a treat. It's a good. We trying to find a hotel that we use this service called Bring Fido, and they find hotels that take dogs. But like
Oh,
a lot,
nice.
yeah. So, but there's a lot of sometimes you have to be careful because there's hidden costs. Anyway, it was a La Quinta, and
Oh, yeah. I've stayed at many of those.
yeah, and this one was not great, but it took dogs, and but it's a kind of a bad hotel when you walk upstairs and the elevator opens and there's just this young man who's yelling uh, into his cell phone in Spanish um, to someone about something. He was very upset, but he was in the hallway doing it, so it was kind of like walking into like, what is going on here? And then so it was just a weird mix of people that had dogs and people that were just trying to stay in a cheap hotel because it was like $100. Um,
Right.
but anyway, bed was nice enough. It was fine. So we stayed there, and then we drove from there to Buffalo, New York. We headed north at Columbus, and we'd never been north on that, so that was pretty. And we saw lots of pretty leaves, and that was cool. By the way, just since I haven't left the house since I was visiting you guys in Indianapolis, so I was ready to just leave.
I bet you're just
Yeah,
eating it
but
up. I honestly, I'm happy you're out and
Yeah,
about.
it's improved my mood. Of course, we were really worried. My physical therapist was like, oh, "I don't think you should." She wouldn't tell me not to go, but I was like, she wouldn't even say, and I was like, I don't know. I think I need to go because
Yeah,
honestly, it would take her more time. I mean, I drove just a little bit, but just even a little bit, spells. So you can get some rest and you can do more. So anyway,
sure.
we got to Buffalo, and we got there late. And of course, we got there right at the end of the Buffalo Bills game, and we drove right by the stadium.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
oh, it was freaking
Yeah.
done
we
that
didn't hit
before.
any traffic, weirdly enough,
Nice.
and
Oh, wow. Okay.
they were killing the other team. So like we thought they'd be leaving early, but
Yeah.
it's Buffalo, and it was actually quite warm. So I think everyone was just hanging out, being like, "Hey, it's almost summer here, practically," because it was like 55 degrees at night.
Soaking it up before it gets horrendous. Yeah.
I've never driven through there. We drove, and it's very strange because it's right next to the Erie Lake,
Hmm.
and there's this huge, massive tract of land that just has nothing but vineyards. So there's a bunch of
Oh,
wine.
yeah. A lot of my friends in the city go up there and check out the vineyards
Yeah,
because I'm friends with a lot of boozers. Surprise, surprise. Uh, but yeah, I've heard it's beautiful. And there are a ton of really good vineyards
yeah.
to check out.
We were just floored at how much there was, and now admittedly there was all kinds of beautiful plants because they're right next to the lake. They get all that water, the lake, but like, and I'm sure the growing season's got to be pretty short considering, the lakefront effect and all that stuff. But anyway, so we got to the hotel in Buffalo, and I was like, it was about 8:30, and I was like, we should get a pizza because it'll be easier because we just been eating nothing but like fast food, and we were sick of it.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, she's like, I was like, I'd love to get wings, but everything closes at 8 or 9. And then it turned out that we were right. Our hotel was right next to this place called, um, what was it called? I wrote it down. The Anchor Bar, which is the home supposedly of the original Buffalo Wing. So,
Oh, yes, you did send us a picture of the buffalo wings.
so Beth didn't want to go but she wanted me to bring her food. So I went there. I ordered food. I brought it back to her. Then I went and ate there for the experience, and it was good. It was quite good. It was not what I was expecting flavor wise, but it was excellent. So it was very good. I highly recommend it if you happen to be. It's a chain now, but it started, there.
Did they make their own buffalo sauce, Tice, or did they use like Frank's Red Hot or
Well,
whatever?
yeah. So did I tell you guys about that? No, probably not.
You may have texted, but I
Yeah.
may have missed that
Anyway,
part.
yeah. So like, I had always read that they used Frank's Red Hot as a starter for it, because
Yeah.
the story is that this guy with his buddies came to his mom's bar or whatever late at night, and they were like, he was like, my friends are drunk, making some food, and she's like, I don't have anything, And so she went in the back, and all she had were wings and chicken wings, which was at the time was only used for making chicken stock. So she concocted this thing and fried the wings, and then doused it in the sauce, and then that became the thing. And so, anyway, I I asked this guy. He was not the brightest guy. He was like a very attractive. He wasn't the sharpest stick in the bundle. He wasn't. He was just one of those guys that
you don't have to be nice. You can just lay
he
it on
was
there.
very nice, and he actually managed to sort of stagger my orders, so mine was fresh when I got it by the time I got back from delivering it to the hotel and all that stuff. But anyway, he was just one of those like pretty dumb guys, kind of like Dennis, Matt, if you remember.
Okay.
But Dennis ended up being a lot smarter than
He did.
Yeah. But anyway, this guy will. Anyway, I was sitting there and I go, let me ask you. He's like, because I kind of told him, I was like, I'm very excited to be here, blah, blah. And I said, I was like, can you tell me, I heard the Red Hots, blah, blah, blah. I heard it was originally used Red Hot, blah, blah. And he goes, I don't know what it's made of. Let me go ask. And I'm like, they're not going to tell you, dude. It's like fucking proprietary. And he came back and he's like, it wasn't Frank's. I was like, well, what'd they make it out of? He's like, I can't tell you. Well, obviously. And,
secret recipe.
Yeah. And
not that dumb.
You could buy bottles of the sauce.
He knew enough not to give away.
Not to get it. Yeah.
Not to give it away. Yeah.
So anyway, but the wings were cooked perfectly. They tasted great. It was kind of a little bit more vinegar forward than I was expecting, but I liked it. But not really heavy vinegar, just a little more than like a straight Red Hots kind of thing.
Where would you rank it on the Tyson scale of wings?
Well, it was the wings. Out of a 10, I would say it was a 9.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So better than that place that's close to y'all in Kansas City?
As far as the sauce goes, the problem with the place in Kansas City or the one in Lawrence is that sometimes they just don't cook them right. But these guys have been doing it forever. They obviously have a very solid method because they were perfect. Yeah. They weren't overcooked. They were crispy. They were juicy. And so, where I would give that place in Kansas City probably a 7 to an 8.5, depending on who's cooking there. I would say this was better.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So I was pretty happy with it. And so I was happy. I went to bed happy. And then.
Did you get a t-shirt?
Oh, yeah. Look, you got a t-shirt and a magnet and a sweatshirt for Beth.
I swear to God, Tyson, your t-shirt collection is probably over 2,000?
No,
maybe?
No. But it's substantial. But you should see. I walked into Matt's closet one time when I first came in, and his is nothing to laugh at either.
I got some.
Smith has some pretty good t-shirts too.
Yeah, I'm a collector.
Yeah. Mine does fill
up.
I
like to express myself with my Hanes beefy tee. It's the way I like to roll.
So anyway, we got up early the next morning. We thought about driving up to see Niagara Falls because it was 15 minutes away.
Oh shit, that would have been cool.
But we decided we weren't going to do that, and so just because we needed to get here because the dog had an appointment at 6:30 that night, even though we were leaving at 6 in the morning. Anyway, we drove the lengthwise almost the entirety of the state of New York, and then dropped down into Massachusetts. And we got here around 2, and then we checked in, and then we took the dog to the vet. And so we have literally the last 2 days been like just sluggish because we were so tired.
I bet. Yeah.
And
of course, it's a lot of traveling.
It is. And I can't, I've got this hemorrhoid pillow that I have to sit in for my back. It's not a hemorrhoid pillow, but that's what I call it. And it's, and I've got this pillow behind me so my back doesn't hurt. And I can't lift anything over 10 pounds, so I can barely help load the car or unload the car. But Beth was happy for the company, I guess. And so anyway, so yeah, so that's where I am right now, and we were gonna go back for my birthday, which is soon,
Coming up very soon. Yeah.
Very soon.
Friday.
This Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had bought tickets to see Bobcat Goldthwait perform in Kansas City, and I think we're gonna just miss that and stay in our.
Oh, dude. I'm sorry. God dang it.
I know, but we're up here already, and it's pretty. And she's never been to Vermont. I've never been to Vermont, and I've never been to Connecticut. They're all the same, essentially, as far as I can tell, basically.
Yeah, they kind of blend together, right?
Yeah,
all looks the
it's
same
not
up
like
there.
it's just all like New England, and that's no,
Yeah.
But so anyway, the dog was bred today to Wrigley, and sperm.
Do they have an adjoining room at the Motel 8?
No, they live here. That's why we came up here.
Oh, but the dogs, like I wondered where they were
the
constantly
dog.
around. Yeah. In this torrid love affair, I wondered if they had an adjoining room.
Did it involve like a heart-shaped hot tub or something?
Oh, I hope
like
so.
that sort of situation.
There's a picture I will send you that the dog, when it got his sperm tested, there's a picture of the dog holding this giant stuffed open face, like that they put like wedding rings in, like those containers. Like this big. So imagine the dog's head, and it's like a foot and a half down, and it's got a ring in it, and it says "Be mine forever." And then it says,
"Oh my god!"
So yeah. And so
they have like photos of Lassie like in the room with the dog, so it can like.
Well, this is really funny, but it's true. Like to get the dog to have a better sperm count, they get the bitch to come in and flirt with the dog. So the dog and the bitch flirt.
Interesting.
Oh my. Okay.
And he gives better sperm or more sperm. So anyway, like his motility of the sperm, which they can tell immediately, by the way, they just look underneath the microscope. He had 60% motility and 400 million sperm, and they need 200 million sperm to impregnate a dog. So fingers crossed it's going to work. Also, when they opened her up, they found some cysts in there. So they removed them. So
okay,
but that means that we're probably going to have to breed her back to back to get the most puppies as we possibly can, and then she'll be retired from breeding. But that's whatever. That is neither here nor there. So anyway, but yeah, it was funny watching the dog and Melly and Wrigley like kind of flirt, and because they bring the girl in to rev up the guy before they remove the semen, and it works. I mean, it's a thing.
And I just have to, because I'm curious. Because I have to ask this: how does the semen get removed? Which is
it's like
probably the nicest way you could possibly put that. So I'm sorry for the audience.
That was top of mind for me as well.
It's
good way. That was a good way to put it.
Manually.
It's manually, yeah.
So that is a job.
That is a thing, yeah.
That is a job that people do.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. What TV show am I thinking of when I?
You're thinking of Clerks, the movie.
Yes, thinking of Clerks.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
You gotta have you gotta love what you do.
You gotta love what you do.
I think that's the line. Anyway.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
So they get that sperm out. It's fresh. It's hot off the presses, and they go ahead and they either put it like in a long thin tube with a little camera on it, and they go in directly and they get it as close as they can to the back of the uterus, or they actually surgically open them up and then go in with a syringe and
interesting
get it going. So and some dogs, like she could have between 1 and 13 puppies. You just never know. So
wow.
Her mom has had 2 litters. One was 4 and one was 5, I think. So that's kind of what we're expecting. Now, the thing that's kind of fun for me, and you can see I'm wearing a Manos Hands of Fate. So the people that own Wrigley are huge Mystery Science Theater fans. So the puppies will be all named after Mystery Science Theater characters.
Ah, very nice.
So that's a bonus for me. So
yeah.
So we're 1,000 ideas. I think Mr. B Natural will be one. Dr. Forrester. Beth wants to name one Joel, so she can be like, Tyson, would you go out and bring back Joel? Yeah, it's funny, honey. It's cute.
That is great. I am in full support of that. That's very cute.
So anyway, so that's what we're doing, and we're gonna head home, and we're gonna do 3 days, I think. So we're gonna go see Niagara Falls. We're good tomorrow. We're not gonna do anything. I think we're gonna go to a bookstore. There's a bookstore that has like 100,000 used books. That's about
Wow.
Ooh, very
11
cool.
miles from here, and it goes.
Okay.
I was looking at some of the pictures, and they go all the way back to like 18 something or other. So, but anyway,
that'd be cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it looks neat. And then we're gonna see Niagara Falls, and then I get to pick the other stuff that we got to do because it's my birthday weekend, and so
yeah, hell yeah.
Maybe we'll go hit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame on the way home. Hopefully, we'll see Matt, and maybe have lunch.
Nice.
Yeah, let me know when when do you think you're rolling through these parts?
It will probably be Sunday afternoon, maybe.
Okay, we'll be here Sunday, and we won't be here Saturday. So yeah, we'll probably be back. We're going to Chicago to see the B-52s on Saturday. So
nice.
Yeah,
the final tour.
Nice. Yeah, it is supposedly. Yeah.
On this planet, I saw.
Yes, yeah. No, we're excited. We're excited to see those guys because they're saying they're done. We'll see.
I know. I did see on our way here that there was a town we passed. I think in Indiana. That had, or maybe Illinois, that had the world's largest pitchfork and the world's largest gavel. So that is
I know exactly what you're talking about. There's like 3 or 4 things, and it's just like, all right. I mean, it's just like random shit that they made big.
So that is probably what I'm going to stop in. That's probably.
That's fair.
I was going to say you should stop.
You should probably stop. No, I'm sure it doesn't take long.
No, yeah.
I mean, just kind of look at it and like, oh, that's big.
Yeah, I know. I was telling Beth, because there's a whole bunch of things we talked about doing. We're about 3 hours from the town where they shot Beetlejuice, so we were thinking about going up there. But we looked at it, and it's not really any different than any other town in Vermont. So I think we're going to do a 100-mile sort of scenic drive in Vermont. We should cover all that. And then we talked about going to Salem tomorrow for Halloween.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
But
yes, do it.
Halloween activity. That's like the perfect Halloween activity. Yeah.
Great idea.
I know, but I don't think the dog's going to be in a position to be left alone at that point because of the surgery. So we're not going to do that, which is unfortunate. We also talked about, well, it's weird. Like all the Halloween stuff is done here because they're all like already looking forward to Christmas. The whole thing.
But I hate that shit.
I know.
I think the whole month of November should still be spooky.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I don't want to see any Christmas shit until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's just how I roll.
Yeah, no. But, we had some seafood the other night. We had some decent pizza. The food's been good. It's been okay. It's been an expensive trip, but that's okay. But then we get back on Monday, and then Tuesday I'm going to Vegas with my family. So I'm really hitting everything.
Is Beth going with you or?
No, she's going to stay home. And so she's going to, because if dogs, our dog especially has a tendency to be needy if Beth isn't there. And so we want the dog to settle, and get pregnant. And if we just dump her off at our friend's house for a week, it might not work. And
yeah, okay. That makes sense.
I don't want to even tell you how much money we're into this already. So my family is disappointed that she's not gone, but it's an investment at this point. So yeah.
They understand. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They understand. It's Beth's, kind of one of her legacies. She's rebuilding the Newfoundland stuff, and that's
cool.
Yeah, she's got big plans. It's pretty cool. So anyway, so it's been a very strange thing. I brought my guitars and my recording device. We have this nice jacuzzi bathroom thing that has amazing acoustics, so I'm working on that in between stuff. And,
like that.
Yeah, it's been great. And
I've
been in a really, even though the drive was brutal, I've been in a pretty good mood. So So nice. That is what has been going on, and I'm sure I'll remember some other things. Let's see. There was one thing I noticed, and I want to talk to you about this, Matt, because I'm curious if you've seen this. But when we were driving into Indianapolis, I saw a billboard that was one of those light up billboards, so I couldn't take a picture of it because it changed. But it just said "Happy Insurrection Anniversary."
Oh God.
Have you seen that billboard?
I have not, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
I went online to see if I could find anything about it, and I could not. It said it was a pack at the bottom, but I couldn't. It was so fast I couldn't read it because I had to read it like 3 times to make sure I was seeing what I saw. But yeah,
it's like 3 months away. Like it's not even the right time of year for that. Like, are they extending this holiday to like a quarter? No, I haven't. I hope I see that now. I will keep a watchful eye.
you want to keep an eye out. The other thing I was going to say is that we did go to we went. This town has a. Oh, they call it a burial ground. They don't call it a cemetery for some reason. I don't know why, but it was established in 1740, so lots of old headstones and kind of.
Oh yeah.
So that was that, and it's creepy. I'll send you some pictures. I mean, it looks like straight out of like a Edgar Allan Poe book. Like just the way.
There's some creepy old graveyards around here, like or burial grounds. Burial ground is way creepier sounding. So
yeah, it is. Oh my God, no contest.
No.
Anyway, that's I think that's all my notes that I had from the trip because I don't have a lot of other stuff going on. I have one news item, but anyway, how are you guys doing?
Good. I've been doing stuff. We went to East Texas to visit Jonas's dad this last weekend. He lives in Quitman, Texas, so went there, and his sister and brother-in-law were there as well. So we had like a nice little family reunion of sorts. But it was a lot of fun actually. A couple of my plugs, which I'll talk about later, happened in Texas and also Louisiana. So yeah, it just feels like I've been traveling a lot, which I have been. So I'm now at a point where I'm like, I just need to stay home for a little while because it's going to start to pick back up again. And I'm like, just relax. It's fine.
I like it. It's great. You got this house and then you haven't been there like at all. Like you're just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna live on the road now.
I know. My husband's like, are you gonna be like literally? That's our conversation. Are you gonna be here next week? I don't know. I should be. Maybe not. Fuck. All right. Should probably change this.
He just checks Facebook like the rest of us to be like, what is Dawson?
Oh, he's got a new story.
Where is she now? Who knows?
Oh, that's some shit. But yeah, it's fun. Yeah, whatever. Live your life, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Smith, what about you? You guys, didn't you go camping or something?
We did. So we closed on the cabin on Friday. We're in a little town called Nashville, Indiana, and it's a cutesy little, kind of like it's kind of like an artsy, lots of like boutique, lots of stores that you don't really need, but it's like sort of you've been to those places like
totally.
Like the place in South Carolina is kind of like that. Lots of restaurants and then just kind of kitschy, sort of like, handmade goods and candles and, sayings that you can put somewhere that say something.
Fucking amazing.
No, we closed really quick. We went out and took our realtor and the mortgage broker out for a few beers afterwards.
Good for you. That's nice.
We were all sitting there and we were well into an hour into it until we realized that we didn't get the keys. None of us thought to get the keys for the property. So we went back, luckily called the realtor or the closing agent, the title company. And luckily they were still there. And so we got the keys. We were so excited that we just forgot the goddamn keys. So, but yeah, no, it was fun. We went out that night.
So funny.
We went out that night and we camped inside. So right now there's kind of a barn. It's called a barn, but it's really kind of an unfinished kind of cabin structure. It's got electrical, and it's all enclosed. It's got a roof. So we pitched a tent inside the little enclosure because we're new at this, so we're starting out, one step at a time. We figured that might offer us some protection, because I don't know what can get into a tent. I mean, it looks like it's sealed up and everything, but it's just safer. And so we made steaks on the grill, had a little portable grill that I've had forever, that I really never get to use, and had a little fire pit. So we sat out and just kind of looked at the somewhat cloudy sky and sat by the fire and chatted. No, it was really relaxing. So we're looking forward to it. We did that evening. We got a little surprised by there because apparently it's right at the end of hunting season there, and so we're kind of we're backed up to that the national forest, Hoosier National Forest. And at one point, I think it was, I don't know, probably 7:30, 8 p.m. We just see these 3 flashlights, just like people were just like, what the fuck is this? I know it was just some hunters that were kind of passing through because our property is obviously you can't hunt on it, but they were just there's kind of a, oh, what do they call that? Not an annex, but some sort of a kind of a way they can walk through there that's still public land. And so so that was a little surprising, but they just kind of introduced themselves and we're like, oh, hey, don't shoot.
Seemed normal.
We let them know that we weren't armed.
Not psychotic.
We weren't armed. So no, they were just hunters. They weren't psychopaths that time.
Great.
Strangers.
Have you ever seen that movie, The Strangers?
That's literally, Tyson, what I was thinking. I was like,
but no,
be careful.
It was very fun. It was very fun. We're very happy. It's going to be a long process to kind of get everything done, but we'll be able to do it kind of the way we want.
What kind of timeline are you guys thinking?
Right
now?
The
or
big
do you
one,
want to talk about it? Does it make you want to throw up?
We get in the nitty gritty of this. The nitty gritty. We got a kind of a timeline in place. We're starting with the septic system. That's a big one. I think we have a meeting about the septic system in about mid-November. There's a little question as to whether or not that will get done before spring. Probably not, because if it ever gets cold here, the ground's going to get hard. But so far, so good. I'm just hoping winter is finally, if we hit the tipping point on this global warming thing, because why the fuck not at this point? So that's kind of the next. And then, doing the framing, we're working with an architect who's done a ton of this is like a fun little project for him, I think, because he usually does like these giant, beautiful houses and stuff. But he's a cool guy to work with, and so he's helping us kind of do our layout and pick interiors and all that fun stuff. So it'll be really fun. It'll look a lot different. We're kind of like the idea, the vibe being it's very, very kind of rustic looking outside, but then when you walk in, it's all very modern. And so that's kind of the thought process. It's our little remote sort of condominium. That's kind of the way I'm thinking about it. So I'm hoping by next summer. I'm hoping that we get through kind of everything. But there's a lot of things. I have to learn to mow. I know how to mow, but I've probably mowed like a 16th acre is probably the biggest. And
I was going to say, how many acres do you have?
It's 16 acres, but then 14 of those are forest. So it's about 2 acres, which is big enough.
That's
it's big. Yeah, it's big. Yeah. So it's going to be, are
you going to invest in a riding mower?
Oh, I think we're going to have to. Yeah. Because I don't think there's any way. I mean, I could, but it would take like days and days.
You could get a couple of those automated ones, like 4 of them, and just have them run all.
Just have them.
There's no way in hell she would go for this, but I found this in my research, my mower research. They actually make one that's just a giant remote control mower, so you could just like lounge back and just drive your remote control mower, which I thought that sounded like fun, but I don't.
That does sound fun.
That does sound pretty fun.
So no, I'm going to be one of those guys, just that you drive by and he's just kind of spending a Sunday afternoon. I'm like that. It's going to be a new phase of my life, I think.
It will.
Lawn care, but it's all pretty flat. There's no like hills or anything, so it's
nice. Okay.
Not challenging. Good. It's not a challenge.
That's a seismic change, man.
It's a big, So I'm going to learn to love mowing, I think. But we don't have to worry about it for a few months. So that's the nice thing about winter is that we won't have to worry about that until probably this spring, and then we'll figure it out. We're green acres. So.
Are you going to name it? Have you thought about names for the cabin? I mean, you got to name it.
We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. Yeah. She was thinking about calling it like a Shawnee word, because I guess I hope I got that right, but like the Shawnee Indians were there. But like all the Shawnee words are like, there was nothing like they're not very appealing sounding that actually means something. So I was like, well, let's just pick the coolest sounding Shawnee name, regardless of what it actually means, because then it sounds cool and nobody's going to know. So that's kind of the direction. We're talking about naming the pond something. It's we're going to name shit. I mean, why not?
I love it. Hell yeah.
Name trees with some big trees we want to name. It's exciting. Speaking of t-shirts, I am sadly a huge fan of Chinese buffets. And so on the way back, we wound up stopping at one pretty close to Indianapolis on our drive back. It's about an hour and a half drive. and we went to a place. It was just called Dong's Chinese Buffet, and they did not sell T-shirts, which is a huge missed opportunity in my eyes.
Huge.
Food was good, but a T-shirt would have made the so much better. So you check out Dong's when
Come on,
you
Dong's.
get the opportunity.
Get with
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, we're going to Chicago on Saturday to go see the B-52s. Quick trip up there, and then I have a bunch of work to do when I get back. So there we go. Cycle of life.
Actually, that is the cycle of life. Oh my gosh!
When I get back from Vegas, so I'm looking forward to it. Actually,
yeah, you are going back. Yeah.
But then I gotta turn around and take 17 days off before the last 2 weeks of December. So I won't be going back to work for very long. So it's this weird thing. My boss is like, "You need to pick out days," and I'm like, "Okay." I'm just worried about getting back and resetting my passwords. Like.
Yeah, right. Oh shit, man.
That's too.
Windows updates. You're gonna take.
Oh my god.
I have like 6 passwords because we have 4 or 5 different VPNs. Plus, it's just a mess. So yeah. And FEMA has its own password. It's just like, oh god. Anyway, but whatever. Thanks. That'll be fun. I'll get somebody on the horn. It'll be fun.
There you go.
Figure it out.
There you go.
Hilarious. All right, guys. Let's headlines.
Yeah,
you have some? Headline of the week.
I have one headline. Sorry, I've just been busy. Also, everything's kind of depressing now. I mean, I'm Puerto Rico or whatever. But this is from Rolling Stone. Elon Musk is offering people his sperm while creating a family compound in Texas. As the billionaire continues to fret about population collapse, he looks to father more children and consolidate his brood, the New York Times reports. So this guy said like a few years ago that he was going to like sell all his physical possessions, right? Do you guys remember that?
Uh-huh.
And he's just going to stay at people's houses, like a billionaire does, just like lounges on the couch and shit. But he keeps offering everybody his sperm, and like so... and people are taking it. Some people aren't taking it, but some people are taking it. And so, like, he's bought 3 mansions in Austin, Texas, in one of the things, and they're pretty close to each other. And he might buy some more, and he's gonna basically house his baby mamas and his children. And he's offering sperm to married couples that are having problems conceiving. I mean, this is getting fucking weird. I mean, he's weird anyway. And we've all been like, we've been ahead of the curve on Elon Musk sucks and is weird. But
yes, we have.
Just keeps delivering for us every goddamn day.
He does.
Yep, every fucking week. Well, every day really now. It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be, we'd be at Pete Davidson news. I don't know if you remember that, like 2 years ago.
It seems so long ago.
It does seem like a long time
but,
ago.
It's probably like earlier this year, but it seems, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and the thing is like, like, that was just fun. It's kind of like Ray J news. Fun, who's Pete Davidson fucking now? And is Kanye West going to kill him, kind of thing. And now it's just
sure.
Like,
one can hope.
Egotistical man who's trying to run part of the government if Trump, it's getting.
I tell you what, though, he's just as masterful and as getting his name in the weekly news cycle as Trump is. They are identical. I mean, I swear to God, like that is what they live for, is getting in the news. Like that's why that dude lost so many $1 billion on X, so he could be in your stream every day.
Yeah.
Even if you don't use X, like it's it's a sad ordeal.
Yeah. He'll get no, he won't. Anyway, we'll have to there's got to be an Epstein thing that's going to come out on him for him to actually lose any cachet at this point. So.
I don't know. We got one day left on that October surprise that I've been fighting for, so we'll see if that happens.
Anyway, that's
Happy Halloween.
That is my headline. I have a couple plugs.
No worries.
Nice.
I've got a few. This comes from the Daily Mail. Again, I've been kind of opting for headlines that I don't really have to read the whole thing because I don't like the news right now. I'm choosing to I'm about to like it a lot less. This one, Daily Mail: influencers drown during yacht party after refusing to wear life jackets because that would ruin their selfies and tans.
Sweet.
Yeah. It happened in, where did this happen? At, Brazil. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
That's like a throwaway, but, a funny one.
That's a good one.
We'll start with the fun ones, and then we'll get to the other stuff. The Vatican unveils new cartoon mascot for the Catholic Church.
Fun.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, I don't know. It's kind of very anime looking. It's wearing like a little rain. I mean, it's very cute. Has a little cross on it.
Of
Like
course, it's
very
a cute little boy. It's the Vatican.
It's not. Well, I think it's gender neutral, which is that was good. Very surprising. Very surprising.
What is it?
Nice.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. Vatican.
Yeah, it's if you just look up the Vatican unveils new cartoon mascot. They're trying to appeal to young people and get the sort of into the pop culture sort of echelon. So go Catholic Church.
The Pope is dope.
The Pope is dope. That would work. Yeah, I always liked
it's easy. They could do, simple things.
Yes. I mean, it's funny too because this is exactly what they talked about in Dogma with the smiling Jesus. Like
very
that
much
was
Buddy
like
Jesus.
Buddy Jesus. Yeah, that was the whole idea.
It looks like an avatar from Star Valley.
It does. Stardew Valley. Yeah,
Stardew Valley,
it does. Yeah, I mean, if I were a kid, I'd probably be into it. I don't know. Yeah, that's it.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's like I've got a picture of. There's actually like a model, like a play figure that you can buy your kids. Yeah, so indoctrination can never start too damn early.
You're right.
So, yeah. What else we got? U.S. death row. Oh, this comes from the Daily Atomic, reputable source. I'm positive. The U.S. death row inmate chose cigarette over last meal. Prison refused, saying it was harmful to his health. And then they electrocuted him a few hours later. So yeah, I love that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they were like, "Fuck this
that's
guy."
Good.
Yeah, wants a cigarette. Nope. And then they electrocuted him. So there you go.
Wow.
77-year-old woman fatally shoots man who jokingly asked her to shoot him. Ohio cops say. So it's really hard to. I don't know how that's going to play out in the legal system. He asked me to shoot him. I shot him. So investigation into the shooting is still ongoing. I don't know. Just like,
is he dead?
He gives me shit when I don't listen to him.
Yeah, is he still alive or?
You know what? Let me see. He was dead at the scene. 58.
Oh, wow. 58. Good luck with that one, girl.
Yeah. She's 77. She was killed a man during harmless banter.
That is why you need to really flex your comedy muscles as you get older. You need to, watch.
That's true. It's all about timing.
It is.
And unfortunately, his timing was a bit off.
A little bit.
Yeah, she just
she I can't tell if she disproved or proved that dying is easy, comedy is hard. Because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. That's true.
Oh
man.
This one from the AP a couple days ago, actually a Colorado story. Can an elephant sue to leave the zoo? Colorado's top court must now decide. So there is an animal rights group that is. I tried to understand the story, but it was not easy to follow.
Oh, this is
basically.
Thing?
Sorry?
Is this the elephant thing?
Yeah, have you heard about this?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, so apparently there's this animal rights group that first tried to do this in like New York and got rejected, but they're basically making an appeal that elephants have the same rights as humans and that if the elephant wants to leave the zoo, it should be allowed to. I think they've missed, which I'm all for. I just don't know how the elephant's going to communicate that. Like a yes or no, wag your trunk if you want to get the fuck out of here. But it is sad to see, especially elephants. Like some animals do. I get like the awareness and things, but they're awfully big animals to have just kind of caged up, and so
they're also
get it.
Super intelligent. Like
they're very intelligent. We saw the most adorable little baby elephant at the.
Oh my god,
that was very cute. Yeah, just following his mom around, and they're very neat animals. It's
so I guess that guy has tried that a couple times. He did in New York.
Yeah,
and what did the thing the judge said in the previous thing? He was like, "Well, this opens up a big can of worms because what about dogs?" And
that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, what about dogs and cats? And it is kind of a fine line. Yeah.
And I was like, cats do what the fuck they want. I was like, you take that off.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. I think if they're big enough to stampede you to death, let's give them some goddamn rights. I think that's the metric. Last story, Washington Post cancellations hit 250,000, 10% of its subscribers. So if you missed this, I fucking hate big tech so much now. I hate all of them. They're all assholes. They're all
Yep.
sellout pieces of shit. Tim Cook, they're all just
All.
assholes and pieces
Yep.
of shit. And so anyway, Jeff Bezos, apparently the editorial board wanted to endorse Kamala Harris for president. And as you would pretty much expect, the Washington Post too. I don't think that was going to surprise anybody if you're a reader of the Washington Post. And he nixed it. He nixed it, and not because he's got all these, what is this company, Blue Sky or whatever, all these billions and billions of dollars worth of contracts with the U.S. federal government. That's not it at all. He just said that his excuse was that he really wanted to just wanted to get past the actual endorsement of a candidate. It just wasn't real journalism. He thought it was.
Yeah.
This is sad on a number of levels.
Big time.
First of all, the Washington Post has been an excellent newspaper. The tagline, "Democracy dies in darkness." This is sad. I mean, this is why we are where we are.
Yep.
Is that there is no real journalism anymore, and this was kind of one of the kind of last. I am going to murder Teams. I swear to God, I have closed it. It's not even open, and I still get messages from Teams all day long. And it's just like, I cannot run from it. I go to Task Manager. It's not there. It's hidden. And yet
I literally just saw your brain split open.
Oh my God.
I was like, what is...
No, I can't close it. Like, I'm going to have to... So, see, big IT. Well, I'm just talking about you. You're listening to me. But no, this is really unfortunate. I think it's great. People are just canceling their subscription. Unfortunately, it's probably going to kill the Washington Post.
Yeah.
So this is
stupid ass fucking argument. He's like, well, before the Post endorsed Jimmy Carter, we never endorsed anyone. And and I was like, what? I'm like, that's what the editor who didn't quit, said.
Right.
the one who basically wrote the endorsement quit. Obviously, I mean, it's all kinds of fucked up. And Bezos sucks. Everybody sucks.
It really does.
Yeah, pretty much.
This sucks. I mean, it's just like this ridiculous thing. They know how cheap it is to buy government officials now. I mean, it costs nothing to do that compared to what they're used to paying.
Yeah.
For other anyway, sorry.
The Democrats are just as guilty as the Republicans on this too. I mean, they have let all this consolidation happen for the sake of. I mean, it is. What do they say? The chickens are coming home to roost. They're about here. It's going to get real scary. We could talk about the election, but I think we'll wait and see what happens. I'm not feeling great. I'm not feeling good at all. But
somebody pointed out to me that it was Greg Lang actually. Greg. He's like, aren't you guys worried about traveling in a plane on November 5th? And I was like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. I was like, I don't know. Not that they'll know the winner by November 5th, but
you should be all right.
Yeah,
I think you're fine.
At least that week.
At least going to Vegas. I mean,
I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe keep your Harris Walls hats at home.
Yeah, better up there than the freaking lunatics down here. That's what I say. Get as far away as possible.
Yeah.
But I had a bunch of stuff written down, but I'm not even gonna I don't even want to think about it. It's bugging me. It makes me sad. Well, I guess we'll come to terms on the next time we have the podcast when we actually know. I'm holding out hope. I'm still going to vote. Everyone should still go vote. Polls could be wrong. Let's pray to God that they are.
I think.
I'm trying to stay hopeful as well.
I am
optimistic.
I am too.
We voted. We did it. We did.
Good. Yeah, we're doing that too. We will revisit that. When we have
I am looking forward to I'm done with the emails and the text messages.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So tired of it. Like, I mean, that's all.
You know what? I literally wrote to one of them because I got like 5 from Kamala today. I was like, girl, I'm ready to turn the page on your fucking text messages.
Yeah. And, I was thinking, like, all this, like, traveling around the country and, like, I don't think that does shit anymore. I really
No.
don't. I think it's been so superseded by social media and just like that's like that's like how people campaigned in the 1800s. Like, I don't think it works anymore. It just gets the people. I
Yeah.
just don't. Even like the door
I like
knocking.
it. I mean, it's kind of sweet, like, Tim Walls walking into a place and just befriending the whole fucking thing. Like, I still get, like, warmth from that, but
Yeah.
does it do anything effectively for the campaign?
It
Not
preaches
No, and it
really.
just and it just she just has not gotten any traction on anything since the convention. And I don't know. We got a sweet DJ out of the deal. Let's just
Yeah.
leave it at that. We should be happy about that.
DJ America.
Sweet DJ. I've already forgotten his name.
I don't think I ever knew it. DJ America.
I didn't either. DJ
DJ
what?
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a
DJ Tanner should be his his
DJ
name.
Tanner's
I'm
the
just
best
saying,
DJ name
it's the
ever.
best name
It
ever. I
really
know we've
is.
said it a million
I
times,
know.
but
It really
fucking A.
was. But anyway, that's all I got. We'll probably have a few
Uh,
more next week.
yeah, might be crying and sucking our thumbs
It's
next
all
week.
right. That's all right. Be here
It'll
for
be
each other.
fine. We'll survive.
We will survive.
I've got a few. One is actually a submission from one of our fans
nice.
of the show. The first one is local news. The Stanley Hotel to be bought by Arts and Education Organization. For those who aren't familiar with the Stanley Hotel, we've talked about it in the past, but it is a historical hotel that is based in Estes Park, Colorado. It gave Stephen King the inspiration for The Shining. Dumb and Dumber was shot there, a bunch of other movies. It has been in flux in terms of ownership for years. And so recently, the Colorado Educational and Cultural Facilities Authority, that's a mouthful, approved documents on Wednesday to issue bonds to fund the purchase of the property. I did not know that the current owner and seller is John Cullen, who is a part of Blumhouse Productions.
Oh,
Did
interesting.
you guys know that?
I did not.
Which explains a lot because they do all kinds of like spooky stuff throughout the year. Like it's very interactive and whatnot. So that, that's pretty cool. He's still going to be a part of it somehow, some way. But yeah, I mean, the bonds are, to the tune of, I think, $425 million.
Holy shit.
And there is a lot to do in terms of renovation. So good luck to them, but I'm glad that it's being bought by a reputable place, so that's good. And in Colorado, because there was a place in Arizona that was talking about it, and a bunch of other shit.
Is it open and like functional currently?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually have friends that are going there tomorrow for like this big Halloween ball that they do every year. So,
very cool.
I mean, I've never been there, but it's kind of win-win. Like, as far as I can tell, in my brain, because like, say they renovate it, that's amazing. But say that it dilapidates, that's amazing too.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I mean, they've already done and sunk in a bunch of money since like Meghan and Paul Solomon got married there in 2010. Like we went there a couple years ago and it looked so different from the last time.
Okay.
So they're really keeping up on things, which is great. They should do something about the restaurant in there. It still sucks, just FYI. But whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. So this next story comes to us from Anna Towns. Thank you, Anna, as usual. School bus driver asks 7-year-old to drive. She instantly crashes the bus. Have you guys heard about this?
No.
This is a really funny Vice article. Everyone should check it out. But basically, there is a bus driver in Independent School District in Missouri who allowed this 7-year-old girl to drive the bus as part of the training exercise and what to do if something happens to the bus driver. She crashed.
Just finish the route. Don't worry about me. Just finish the route.
So parents literally got text messages like, your child has been involved in a small accident.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, Sometimes the jokes write themselves. Amazing. It's really good. It's a really funny
My
article.
friend, I'm sure you know John Glendenning.
Oh yeah,
He crashed a school bus when he was in middle
that
school. So
doesn't surprise me.
that's
That man
also,
talks in fart sounds. Like, yep, John Glenna Ding Dong lives on.
yeah, the legend continues.
Fucking A. I do love that guy. He turned $10 into $100 in Vegas in literally 5 minutes. I will
That's
say that
pretty
he's
good.
somewhat of
He's
a
resourceful.
magician.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the spectrum though, for real. And then my last story is, I don't know if you guys have been watching. Well, actually, I have two more. Have you guys been watching the World Series at all?
No,
No. Okay,
no.
that's fine. But we have, and there's a heartwarming story about this. So in the first, I think it was the first game, Freddie Freeman hit a grand slam, and there was a 10-year-old kid who caught the ball. And the story goes like his parents told him that he was going to the dentist and not the World Series game, and he ended
Oh,
up going to the World Series and getting a grand slam ball. That's fucking awesome.
that is.
I love it. All of the pictures of this little kid, he's like a Pixar animation that came to life. Just big, toothy, brace face, like, oh, like eyes welling up. It's adorable. Pretty sure his dad has control of the ball at this point. But yeah, that has been my favorite part of the World Series. So lots of articles on it. LA Times posted a good one. So check that out. And then just want to say rest in peace, Terry Garr. She passed away
Yeah,
at 79.
yeah.
Sad, 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 sad.
I will
Um,
always remember her from Mr. Mom. I think.
the
Yeah,
best.
yeah.
It's
She
one of
was
my
great in that
favorites.
role.
Yeah.
Young
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein. Yeah,
Yeah.
but also a
She's
classic.
gonna roll in the hay in heaven.
Yeah, yeah, she is.
She's,
Very
a
nice.
lot of boys discovered women with that movie. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Here you go.
Are you one of those boys, Tice?
No, I was -2 when it came out, so it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
I was negative too. That is it. Those are the
nice.
headlines. All right. Should
Well,
we plug?
We
Yeah.
should
Plug
probably
stuff?
plug. Yeah.
All right. I am going to play the thing because I found it again.
Oh,
So
nice.
here we go.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
We started listening to a book called *Sapiens* on our drive up here, and I'm going to talk about that now. I'm going to finish that book before I talk about it, but it might be an unplug. But anyway, let's get to the plugs. We started listening to this other book called *The Theory of Everything Else* by this guy called Dan Schreiber, and it is awesome. It's a book about batshit, and that's his word. He said that it's everybody has a level of batshit. You may not know what it is, but everyone does. You may not even. He's like, by the end of the book, you may be able to figure out what your own batshit is. You know, whether you believe that like water can talk, or you can, whatever. And so the book is just a series of things that are highly unlikely and very unusual. Probably aren't true, but could be true. So it is. It's really hard to explain, but it's basically a bunch of weird, true facts that aren't really facts, but someone believes they are facts, or they could be facts. So a lot of things like the guy who, for example, the reason why Ringo Starr has such a unique playing is that he was born left-handed, and his mother was the voodoo queen of Liverpool, and his grandmother was the voodoo queen of Liverpool, and she performed many exorcisms on him when he was a child.
Interesting.
and
Whoa.
forced him to change his dominant hand from the left to right, which happened all the time back then. And so when he started playing drums, he was old enough that he was right hand. He had switched to right hand, but he started to favor his left hand. But he's kept his drum set up set to the right, and that's why he has such a unique style of drumming. So
Wow.
weird stories like that, going all the way from people that were dictating books with Ouija boards, from Shakespeare, they died, to I mean, it's about the guy who came up with the idea that came up with a test that allows you to check DNA quickly, like the test that you use to tell if you have COVID. That guy was at his house one night. He went down to go to the bathroom, and a talking raccoon that was glowing stopped him and started talking to him. And
neat.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is all over the place.
Wow.
It is super
That's
fun.
cool.
Yeah, so I highly recommend reading it or getting the audiobook. I'm going to say it one more time: "The Theory of Everything Else" by Dan Schreiber, and and it's fun. It's really interesting. And we're about halfway through it, but I feel I can promote it. There was an episode of Throughline, this podcast by NPR that we heard on the way down, called "How We Vote." It's the October 17th version, or October 17th, 2024 episode, and I think everyone should listen to it because it is a history of how voting has changed since the beginning of the United States until today. And I learned so much stuff I had no idea. It actually, makes a case that voting could be a celebration if they would go back to the way they used to do it.
Sure.
But it's really, really interesting. So you can find that on npr.com. The name is Throughline, and the episode is How We Vote. I've been trying to read more comics. I've been reading the new run of Fantastic Four by this guy named Ryan North, who is a science nerd. And so if you're a fan of Fantastic Four, the more sciencey, the better. And he's just knocking it out of the park. I've read 18 of the 24 available issues right now, and they're quite good. And then finally, Soccer Mommy, who I'm a big fan of, put out a new record this week called Evergreen.
Oh my God. I love Soccer Mommy.
It is.
Is it good?
It is very good. The production is big. And
looking at it now.
It is very good. So highly recommend that. That is my record of the week. And I'm trying to do just one, and that is definitely the one for this week. So
Tyson. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Those are my plugs.
Nice.
I've got a couple, 3 actually. I was very old when I realized that a couple meant 2. Very old. I always thought it meant a few. It was always synonymous with a few. And I think people still use it like that on occasion. But
I think so too. But I never thought about it.
Yeah, I only had a couple M&Ms. I had a few M&Ms, but apparently they're different. So
I prefer couple to few. I would say.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, it depends on if it's 2 or 3.
That's true. Well, apparently, if you're going to be a stickler about it, I don't know. It's what is the other thing is what few or less or few. That's the other sort of one that I know I screw up all the time. Or it's if you can count it, I'm not even gonna do it. Not even expose my weakness even further than I have already today.
Beth has a thing that she uses for when she's playing D&D, when she's trying to sum up things amount wise, is sum to is 1 2 sum lots.
Okay.
1 2 some lots. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
So a couple things on Netflix, actually a plug and then kind of a mild unplug. It's only we only got through the first episode, but usually when I'm pretty disengaged, and I say usually, there are exceptions, but the first one is, where are you at? Is Escape from Dannemora. And this is actually not new. Have you seen this yet? It's just came up on Netflix last week. It's actually about 5 or 6 years old. Ben Stiller directed, I think, every episode of it. But I don't know what it was. I think it might have been originally on Showtime and just never got any traction. But it's been shooting up the charts on Rotten Tomatoes lately, so I thought we'd check it out. And no, it's really good. I think it's an 8-part miniseries about this woman who basically assists a couple people in escaping. that prison and kind of how she helps sort of get the saw blade and sneak him out and everything with a fun, exciting twist. So it's actually really, really good. It's got the Benicio del Toro and what's her name? Really should have been. I know her name. Oh, nope, I just started playing it. That's not what we want to do at all. All right. Well, anyway, you know her. You love her. Just can't remember her name right now.
Great. I loved her in that thing.
Yeah. And
she was so good in it.
She was so good at it. And she was in that one movie.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
Who else was in it? I like this.
True Romance. Who was in True Romance? The girl in True Romance.
Oh shit! One of the Arquettes.
Patricia, I think.
Patricia.
There we go. Look at that. Just had to
Patty.
think of a completely different movie.
No one calls her Patty.
I doubt it. Patty. The other one is, and this is my unplug. This is a new series on Netflix. I'm doing a terrible job today. Just can't keep track of where things are at. Man, this is fun.
I would love to see your screen, Smith, because I just see your eyes going.
That's the other thing I just noticed while we're recording this is it's why I look like Violet Beauregard right now is because I've got this massive monitor, and so whatever screensaver or background, they just roll through the Windows defaults because I'm no longer creative, and it just that's what I look like. So yeah, so I'm the giant blueberry. It is called. Oh my God! Where is it?
At least you have some control. My company picks my backgrounds for me.
Oh, do they really? Yeah, I've got one of my corporate notebooks does that, where it's like fun facts about the company and its policies.
Oof.
Territory. No. It is a new show on Netflix. Takes place in the Australian outback. Very much a kind of a. My mind is terrible tonight. That Western show with that Kevin Costner guy. That show, I think it's kind of their take on that. Has the guy from Longmire. If anybody's ever seen Longmire.
Oh yeah, from Longmire. Yes, the sheriff, the guy who plays the sheriff.
Yeah. Again, I don't. He's like a rather old guy, but that's the only thing I know him from. So I'm sure he's been in other stuff. I just haven't.
I'm sure he has. I can't think of anything else.
But anyway, he's in it. It's just really slow, and I don't know. It seems like the whole Western kind of revamp thing may have kind of reached its peak, or maybe I'm just not. I don't know. It was really slow. We only made it through the first episode. We'll probably get back to it. I don't know. Sometimes those things have a way of just belaboring forever, and go back to it in 3 years, and it's wonderful. But for right now, it's a soft unplug. And then my biggest plug, I'm going to make up for it with my biggest plug. I know exactly what it's called, exactly where you can watch it.
Yay.
And it is called The Speedway Murders. It is available on Hulu. So one of my favorite true crime cases of all time is this murder that took place, I believe it was in 1978, at a Burger Chef restaurant in Indianapolis. And apparently Burger Chef used to be the number 2 fast food restaurant in America next to McDonald's. Until they were bought out by Hardee's in the early 80s. So that's why you've probably never been familiar with a Burger Chef. Yeah, they really just kind of
Burger Chef is such a better name.
It's a much better name, yeah. And anyway, so it's about they think a robbery where the 4 kind of teenage employees were kidnapped, and then their bodies were later discovered the following day. And it is an excellent documentary. It kind of does this thing where there's a dramatization where I guess the ghosts of the victims kind of walk through the case, and so I thought it was kind of a really kind of unique approach to the documentary. Anyway, really kind of fascinating story. Some of those true crime stories, I don't get why I'm fascinated with them. Sometimes why are you but this is the one that stuck with me. It's just kind of one of those that I'm really kind of crazy about. Anyway, it's on Hulu. I bought it. It came out at the end of last year, and I bought it, and I think this is the first time it's started streaming anywhere. So I think it's at least on Hulu.
Okay.
It's probably on some other services as well. It's kind of sometimes stuff just pops up everywhere. And now people are selling their content to other streaming providers. It's madness, I tell you.
It's write-offs. That's what they're doing. They're writing off. That's why they're doing it.
Oh my.
Yeah, because they can create the content and then write it off as they're selling it, and they all do it to each other so they can all write it off.
Yeah, like it's all so incestuous and gross now, and no, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
that's why they
hand
do it.
puppets.
It's a
I'm gonna
tax.
go back to hand puppets. That's what we should. Yeah,
Mystery Science Theater, bring it back.
Exactly, for life.
Tyson.
For life. Yeah, and them's the plugs.
Them's the plugs.
For this
All
week
right.
of October.
I saw that pop up on
Very
this.
nice.
I'll take a look at that because I didn't know. It's a movie, right? Like a. It's not.
It's actually a documentary, but it's like a. But it's wait, which one?
The Speedway murders.
Oh yeah, it's a documentary, but they've done kind of like a reenactment, like with the characters, is like kind of talking about the case. It's kind of it's a hybrid. It's a hybrid. So thought it was very well done. So anyway, check it out.
I'm definitely going to check it out. Let's see. I have a couple plugs. The first plug is a documentary series, go figure, on Netflix called This is the Zodiac Speaking. It's directed by Phil Lott and Ari Mark. I think it's interesting because so many people think they know who the Zodiac was and all this stuff, but they talk about this one guy in particular, Arthur Lee Allen, who basically was a teacher for a while, befriended a family, and then it just kind of goes from there. So the people in the documentary series that are being interviewed are the kids of this family. And they talk about their encounters with him and their experiences with him. And it's pretty compelling. Like, it's kind of crazy. I don't want to, I find it to be probably the most likely suspect to be the Zodiac killer.
We also watched it.
For
And
sure.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
It is very. It makes a very good case because there's like a ton of theories about.
There's
the
just
Zodiac.
a ton
It's just
out there.
one of those that's kind of in the ether and everyone kind of knows about it. But no, it was quite good. We watched. I think it's 3 parts. It wasn't terribly
Three
long.
parts. Yeah. It's not terribly long. Yeah, I liked it a lot. And then these last two are just stupid. It's just me talking about the weekend, but I'm going to do it anyway. So one thing that we did in East Texas, Jonas's dad is like a really good fisherman, like to the point where he just won a bass championship and won like a $60,000 boat that was in his driveway. That was pretty fucking sweet, not going to lie. So the guy loves to fish. And he wanted to take us out on the water. He lives next to this really pretty lake. I think it's called like Lake Fork or something like that. And we went out early in the morning on, was it Friday last week? And we basically chartered, like did a catfish charter. So this guy brought us out on a pontoon boat out into this spot where all of the catfish were at. He fed them a bunch of this catfish shitty food. And then we basically, like, he would bait our hooks, take the catfish off the hook, put it into the cooler. It was the fucking best.
That sounds awesome.
Like,
yeah.
I have never caught so many fish in my life. We were all just having the best time. Usually, like, I'm like, Jonas, I'll bait my hook, but I'm like, can you get the fish off? Because I had a moment when I was a kid with a perch and it got my hand, and I will never take a fish off again. Especially something with a large mouth. I'm like, not into it. But we would basically just drop in, and then it was this stinky kind of cheese stuff. And I'm telling you, like 5 to 10 seconds later, you would have a bite. And we caught over 100 catfish. It was fucking nuts.
That's awesome.
I loved it. I had so much fun. And I think like Jonas's dad was tickled with like how much fun all of us were having, just like with the easiest way to fish ever. So if you have the opportunity to do that, I would recommend that up and down all around. And then we also went to Shreveport, Louisiana, which was about 2 hours away from where Jonas's dad lives. And there's a casino that's on a riverboat. But it's a Bally's casino. I feel like everybody's been to a Bally's at some point in their lives. But I'm just gonna plug my favorite slot machine again because I won $2,100 on it,
nice.
and everybody could kiss my ass who doesn't believe in the power of Buffalo. Play Buffalo, play Buffalo Gold, play Buffalo Ascension, play Buffalo Triple, which is where I won the $2,100. Met so many old people who were like fascinated by it, including this cute little 89-year-old named Lola, who I left $160 in the machine for so she could play. And her friend took it and cashed it in. And I was like, it was a whole thing. I'll tell you guys about it later. But I'm a big fan. And that casino's great. I had a great time. Jonas had a great time. He won like, I want to say close to $1,000. Like, it was super fun. We were all having a blast, except for Megan and Tyler, who lost, but they were still good sports and walking around. Actually, I think Jonas's dad lost too. So sorry, guys. But it was super fun for
She
us.
got on that Buffalo. Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, Buffalo is the best.
I love that.
In the casino.
That roaring stampede sound that it makes.
It's
when
so
you're,
much fun.
Oh.
And then the eagle, when things start to really
that's
go.
right.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is
you're right.
the creme de la creme. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Tyson,
only, it's like the
get
only
ready.
Machine. Yeah. I've only had luck on that machine. That's like,
me too.
Yeah, that's
me
it.
too.
That's it.
Yeah.
I ran into one at a convenience store in Illinois on the way up here. And I was like, should I stop and play?
You always stop and you go, Buffalo. And then you play at least $20.
You play. Okay. I didn't know about the verbal aspect of it. Thank you.
No, you have to. Well, I scream Buffalo like at an annoying, level, but fine. It's fun.
I'm sure
it's fun for me.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind that in a truck stop convenience store.
Yeah, it's a weird, like,
maybe not at a truck stop, Tyson. That might be like a secret word or something for something you don't want. So just saying.
Shower's ready, Mr. Buffalo.
That's the full experience. A little bit of Buffalo, a little Petro too, a shower. Like it. Full road top experience. Get yourself some buttermilk pancakes.
That's how to live. That's how to live. That's it. Those are the plugs.
They're nice. The podcast is getting shorter as does the day. It's kind of
it's getting dark there.
I know.
Right there.
Everything's getting smaller.
I know. It's weird. I'm surprised it's still light out, but I guess we are doing it a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Tyson, you need to get some sort of like sun lamp in your room so you can keep that vitamin D going.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm doing pretty good. Plus, there's so many, like, we're in Old Sturbridge Village, and there's so many giant pictures of people lifting hay and working machines that don't make sense. I'll take pictures of them and send them to you, but I don't need more light on all this. That's all I'm saying. That's basically
multi-lights are usually better experience in the dark.
That's right.
You don't want to reveal too much about the experience.
Fair. Yeah. That is fair.
It's just it's a weird flex. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Way to go, Super 8. All right. Well, guys, always a pleasure. We'll do this again next week.
Yeah. I should be able to do it from Vegas, so should be good.
Oh my God.
Live from Vegas.
Amazing.
Yes.
Tice, where are you guys staying at? What's the background going to look like?
It's a timeshare thing. So Wyndham.
Oh, okay.
If we're staying in the place we always stay at, we're a block off the strip.
Oh, nice.
So we got.
If you can do it with in front of a window so we can see the strip in the background.
That would be lovely.
And make it damn day.
We'll do what we always do. We'll walk 2 blocks to Old Ellis Island Casino.
Yes.
Where we'll start. And then
I love Old Ellis Island. Oh,
we start there.
That's so much fun.
Then we go somewhere else. So, but you can't beat Old Ellis. You just can't.
You can't. Great slot machines. Really cheap beer. Yeah, they have some good karaoke there. Not gonna lie, it's fun. Oh man.
Yeah. So.
All right, I'm jealous. That's how we're gonna end things with Dawson's jealousy raging. All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Nice. Very nice.
Well done.
Good night, everybody.
Close it out.